Thank you so much for being here this morning. We're very grateful for the opportunity to present to you our business plan. The structure of our ownership is a partnership, so and it's an equally shared partnership. So my name is Christina. I'm the CEO. We have Melissa. She is our Chief Operating Officer. We have Rowena, who is our Vice President of Marketing, and Sharmila, who is our CFO. So all of us sort of struggle in one area of our life or another. We all have family and friends. We all work in different sort of industries, and there's always challenges, sort of no matter where we go. I have just a few pictures here to sort of illustrate and sort of paint a picture in our minds. We have a gentleman, and he looks successful. He's wearing nice clothes. I mean, it doesn't seem like he'd really want for much, but it seems like something's wrong in his life, right? So maybe he's not getting the promotion he was looking for. Maybe there's trouble at home. We have another image of someone eating some not so healthy snacks, and they seem to be affecting his whole life. He doesn't look very happy. We have another graphic here, someone with empty pockets, right? So there's financial struggles that he's probably experiencing, which can lead to a whole slew of problems. He could be having emotional struggles, as well as just having that physical problem, not having enough funding. And then we have relationships, right? We see a couple here, they're divided, they're separated, right? They're holding hands, they're still sort of struggling to hold on to that connection, but there's definitely separation there. So these are definitely some problems in the market. Some options to kind of help people deal with these types of issues. Just to name a few, we've got counseling, we've got sort of coaching, we've got kind of doctor-led weight loss. A big popular one right now is just social media support groups and blogs. You can find, there's just tons of it sort of online. But a lot of the problems with these is that people are just trying them and not really succeeding, right? A lot of the time there's no real commitment that you have to make to the programs. A lot of it is self-led, so often if you're looking for guidance, like you might have to go another route, which could be a lot more expensive, and some people just looking to start out in that sort of self-improvement area might not be looking to take sort of that direction of a coach or a mentor, because often, it comes with a heavy price tag if you want the really high quality coaching. But it really is, there's just that lack of commitment, no real accountability, and a lot of it's just really poorly designed. There's tons of free options out there, but they're just not really hitting the mark. So what the market really needs is a solution that generally offers truly transformative change. So something that's really going to help you achieve results. We bring you Life Achievers is our business model, Life Achievers. We have created a system where we have habit forming program, there's 12 30-day modules. And it's been scientifically proven that if you're making the same sort of repetitive actions day in, day out, it will be habit forming. So we give instruction, we track sort of completion and send progress reports to our users. There's sort of a points incentive that our users can use at the end of modules to sort of for continuing education through other sort of coaching platforms, sort of like GameBrain and other sort of affiliates that we would like. We're basically taking sort of an affiliate marketing approach with that as well, sort of promoting some other continuing education options. But it's really sort of daily activities that they'll complete with sort of micro commitments. With the rewards system and random draws. It's affordable, but the area where we really see the most success is because it's focused on results, right? And we have really strict regulations in terms of sort of logging activities and the participation, and also there's no money back. Sort of, we don't do refunds, so it's like you're committed. So we offer group coaching. We have our social media groups, so our Facebook and our Instagram, where we have sort of groups and people can sort of come together. We have forums where they can use as support. But in addition to the modules, we have our own internally trained mentors. So we can do sort of, users will do sessions with the mentors should they choose to go that route, or they'll get just that little bit extra support should they need it. Our mission statement is to deliver profound transformation through micro commitments and new routines. Yeah. And now I will hand you over to Melissa, who will explain to you our operations in greater detail.
Thank you, Christina. So I would like to introduce our product and how to get started. So as Christina was mentioning, it's a mobile-friendly website. So all the information will be on our sales webpage, the prices, the plans, the different options for each challenge. And the registration will be straight from the website. The user will be asked to select a plan. So we have a plan that's a 1 month, 3 month, or 6 months. And they get to choose the challenges that would best suit their needs. So automatically the member will be added to a Facebook community so that they have support. And the email will be sent to just notify the user of all the requirements necessary for the challenge. So a daily challenge will look like this. The daily instruction video will be sent to the user with a daily task. So it's 10 to 15 minutes task. And I'll talk about a bit of the task later on. So once the task has been completed, they have to submit a proof of completion. So they have to do that by, say, 8 p.m. And once they do that, they earn points. And if they do non-submission, they lose points. And after 2 missed activities, the program is terminated. So we take this very seriously. So we have ongoing benefits as you become a member. There's permanent access to the progress dashboard. So you see your points, you see how you're doing. There's anytime access to any mentorship sessions. So those can be purchased on the side as extra. It's a 30-minute session that will be done virtually. The members can post reviews and testimonials on our webpage. And once they have completed one challenge, they can automatically become a certified mentor. And they can take a training, a workshop to become a mentor. We will have a member of the month, and we'll also have affiliate offers to complementary programs. So these are a sample of what a year would look like. So just to mention a few, there's straightening couples relationships, there's weight loss, there's money management, gratitude, etc. So those challenges will be repeated every year. We will adjust our tasks as required. And my next slide is just to show a sample challenge of a month. So this will be a relationship challenge. You see that every week is broken down by communication, affection, bonding, compromise, etc. And you see that you have daily little challenges. For example, there's send a thoughtful text, leave a grateful message, etc. So that would be a little task that we would have to do every day. So they take no longer than 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I will pass on to Rowena, who's going to talk about market analysis.
Good morning, everybody. Market analysis. So our positioning statement is that the market will see us as a #1 affordable, result-oriented transformational program. Our market are segmented global. People ages 18 and up. It's for everybody that's want to achieve their life to their full potential and wants to overcome health, relationship, and wealth issues. I did a little bit of competitors analysis, and these are the top self-improvement industries that's like really highly profitable. #1 is the weight loss programs, and those are in millions, so they're making $4 billion something. Next is the personal coaching, and followed by the self-improvement books. So like really just self-thoughts or like however it was designed. So this drives us to how we're going to get our customers attracted to our product, and which follow with our marketing mix strategy. So for our product, Life Achievers created this 12-team, 30-day program that will provide daily challenges, as was already mentioned by our CEO and Melissa, and that really focuses on specific outcomes, like results. And the point difference is that it's high impact, accountability, and we're just really committed. Like there's no space for flexibility. Like we'll take it seriously. And for our pricing strategy, we did price it very competitive and affordable, that it's most available for most people. Like, like our plan is at $200 for one module. That's a month. And then we have the 2, which is discounted for 3 months and so on. And like some other, like, when you go for private counsel, like you pay at least $300 per hour, or weight loss program, like more and more money, right? So these are really expensive. So we just price it like just average to work economics. And for our promotion, we're gonna target our customers through social medias and online forums. These are some of the groups on Facebook. You see how many people are already talking about it. And it's like, like just a bunch of them looking for solutions. So when we're promoting our the launch of the Life Achievers, we will send these people invites and like make them aware that we're invite them for our launch party a couple months after that. So we're gonna distribute some flyers to our local area here in Ottawa, and yes, so those people that we invited in our community Facebook group also will be invited to the launch party. And for the first month, we will offer them a week trial. For place, yeah, you will see us in, we will have social media groups on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And our website will, that's where you'll see the registration process, all those instructions, videos, progress report, promoting our affiliated companies, and also encourage them to try like for another module. For market growth, we definitely see an opportunity there, being an e-commerce business, and like all these self-improvement industries are still rising. Like people are still sinking in debts, and like they're becoming more health conscious. Our aim is to attract 2% of Ottawa's population, which is now about 640,000. So that's our aim for when we launch, and then we grow 3% monthly. And these numbers are realistic, and Sharmila will explain to you with the numbers.
According to the Ottawa's population from age of 18 to up, we are targeting 3% of growth every month. For the month of January, 271 products will be selling for 107,300, and by December we'll be making 342 products for $175,200. So you see the growth there. And then we are 4 partners, and each of us investing $1,000, and which is not enough to run the business. So we are borrowing $50,000 at 8.25 interest rate over 3 years. And the total startup cost for the business is $50,200. And we have, you see we have divided into that, and you all have the business plan that we had it in, and you can look into that. So this is the operating expense that you're seeing. So, well, it's just the wage and the benefit is going high, which is good in a sense because we are the partners. And other than that, we're not spending so much. It's because it's an online marketing. And you see the 3-year projection income statement here, and you see how fast it's growing from year 1 to year 3. For the first year, the sales revenue, it's $1,734,200 with the net income of $904,817. And the second year, with the 15% of growth, it's going up to $1,994,330 with the net income $1,040,539, and so on. And then what you're seeing here is the break-even analysis. We should sell 1,112 units to break even. And now I'll pass over to Christina to conclude. Thank you.
So, I mean, as we can sort of see, this is a huge industry, right? It's $1 billion industry. It's growing more and more as the world has just become more connected through the means of technology. It's so accessible now. So this is really sort of a fast-growing market where we think we can do quite well, considering sort of our modest predictions. We really sort of are differentiating ourselves from our competitors, just in that we're different. We really want true transformation, and we really sort of believe in ourselves and believe in our brand and are very committed to it. So we really hope you enjoyed our presentation, and we'll open up the floor for questions if you have any now.
So I'm a sales guy by kind of craft. So for me, all of my questions kind of center around customer acquisition. So you look at the space you're in. So for example, the healthcare space, you talk about weight loss. We're seeing the success of everything from Isogenics to Beachbody, which run on multi-level marketing, where you're engaging your mentors, which then do the sales. So I'd just love to hear a little bit more for you how you're going to get that initial cohort on board. So whether you're looking at freemium modeling, whether you're looking at free trials, so how are you going to make that first leap? Because I would assume once people get benefit from this, they're going to start telling their friends, their family, and the Facebook community will drive it. So I'd just like to hear a little bit more about that plan.
For our initial sort of to attract, we're definitely going to do a free trial. It's going to be available just for the first month. So it's sort of our first initial to really try and grab people and let them get comfortable with us, because obviously we're a startup, and it's people have to sort of get to know you. We have referrals from our clients, and sort of post that and use that through our website and through our internet. But also, we're going to have, just through the sort of online groups, we'll sort of do a lot of advertising on there, trying to reach out and gain sort of build our email list and contacts that we have. So we have a larger sort of group to reach out to, and then we'll host a launch party. So just in the month prior to launch, to sort of educate and let people know sort of more about us.
Quick question on your value prop compared to other players in the industry. How do you compare yourself and how do you differentiate yourself?
Well, Life Achievers is really, really into the being committed. Like we don't allow any flexibility. Like the rules, like you miss the log and you're out. And that we're only giving a 1 week free trial for our member, but then that's it. And it's just like really just to promote creating habits that they will take on their daily lives. Like it's a routine. It will be a routine for them. And because like a lot of people, they always try something, like they need change, but they do it so drastically that nothing stays, right? So this one is really like just to focus on being incorporated on their daily lives.
As an educator and teacher, I'm more curious to know about who are your subject matter experts who are going to be giving out the expert advice to your clients. So for example, breakdown here for the relationship part, like who are the experts that are giving this type of advice?
We all sort of have a little bit of different backgrounds, but it's definitely like a health and nutrition background that I come from. So in terms of that sort of health and fitness and eating and nutrition and stuff, I take a little bit of that from myself. A lot of the stuff is just kind of, we're taking from the market, but I think as we grow bigger, we'd definitely be bringing on board mentors specializing in the different sort of niches that we're advertising for through the challenges, just to have that sort of to back it up, right? To back up what we're sort of teaching and educating. So we'll definitely have all of that stuff sort of analyzed and looked over to make sure that everything's sort of factually correct.
So I'm looking at your segmentation, right? Going back to the marketing, this is a crowded market. A lot of people, because it's such a big business, there's such opportunity in there. So you do mention that you want to get to the people that want to commit and that want lasting return. So that's one way to define a market. But you also say the ages are between 18 and 70 years old. That's your target market, which is a big market. But in a crowded market, if that's your only pitch, that's not going to work, because you're trying to target too much of a vast market, and you're just starting off. So the competitors will just eat you up. Because I like the idea of the commitment. I think that's one value proposition that maybe the others are not doing. I don't know the space, so I don't know the competitors. but you need to narrow it down and narrow your messaging. What thoughts have you had as far as how are you going to target specifically the people that you want in your program, the people that require or are thinking about that kind of commitment?
Since we have our 12 different modules, they're not running simultaneously. They're not all running at the same time. So it's every month there's a different. So for each month, we can really, the prior month we can be targeting the next month's sort of focus group. So, if it's relationships, we're probably targeting. That narrows it down because you're not dealing with sort of that lower end of the broad spectrum. You're dealing with generally, 30 to 40, maybe newlyweds, maybe people having struggles, and we can really sort of more hone in on it depending on the module that we're in. Depending on which module is launching next. And try to stay a few months ahead as well, so that we can really be attracting people like, oh, try, in 2 months we'll have this starting, and create a little bit of demand for it. And that's the one thing I think is really good about not having it all available at one time. It will create that demand, right? Because they're going to have to wait for it. It's not there necessarily right away. So, and that gives us some time to kind of work and improve upon things as well.
We first want to know the management team. We want to know your experience. So you can start with who you are, your experience, your background, and then how to make it a 100 million business. Like, how can we achieve these projections? Because you commented on the projections, but I want to know how will you achieve it? And in case it doesn't go well, can you cut on marketing, other expenses? Like, how do you manage the low scenario?
I come from a managerial background, baking background. I started out baking and did sort of certification programs to become a pastry chef. So that's sort of where I started out, and I've sort of grown in my path. I'm the kitchen manager for Bridgehead's production facility. So I manage a staff of 30 people. Seeing ourselves going into sort of a global market and the way we'd sort of get there, I think a lot of it has to come through word of mouth testimonials, just people really enjoying our services and achieving the results, right? That's going to be sort of our path to success is really building up our users and sort of dominating that market and becoming a leader in the market. Really has to be, it has to be sort of all based on results, I think. So it's if our results sort of speak for themselves, I think we can definitely, it's something that's achievable to sort of grow to the size of a $100 million sort of company, right? Worst case scenario, that it doesn't sort of, that's what is the nice thing when we did our break-even analysis was what do we have to do to sort of just the bare minimum, what would get us sort of through to cover all of our expenses. At the end of the day, a large part of those wages were ownership wages. So if at the bottom there's not enough money to pay ourselves, we're not going to pay ourselves. So we've accounted for our salaries, but if that's not possible, we'll sort of make sure that the business is succeeding before we're taking sort of our pay cut.
My background is in social science. So I have a minor in psychology. And my passion has always been helping people. So I'd like to, and now I'm taking business, so I'd like to mix the two together. And I'm very good at coaching, and I've read a lot of these books on happiness, on financial management, and I know what it's like to be one of our customers. So I'd like to share my experience with them.
I came from a healthcare background. I did that for 15 years. I am here now because I'd like to do more of admin or managerial business stuff. And I think that's all about to say.
Well, my background is IT, and I lost my experience, and that's why I end up doing accounting because I like to work with numbers and stuff like that.
Is there like a pick and choose? So for example, if I want to focus on, let's say I'm good in finances, but I want to focus more on relationships or whatever, is there that option?
Yes, there is that option. So once you buy our plan, so plan 1, which is 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, you get to choose a challenge. So you can choose one challenge, which is relationships, say if you want to work on that. When you select the 3-month package, then you select 3 different challenges that might suit your needs. So out of the 12 that I listed, you get to pick and choose which one would best suit your needs, because not everybody is in a relationship and want to work on their relationship, so.
Okay, I saw that you need $50,000 approximately to as initial raise. So first part of the question, does any of you have collateral to support that loan? And have you thought about alternative funds and grants and subsidies that may be available that would not put your house or whatever collateral on, like personal stuff, on risk?
I think for the sake of sort of our presentation and just sort of the financial kind of documents and outline templates and things that we were using, we decided to keep it a little bit simple. But I mean, definitely going forward with it, if we really went forward with it, I think it's something where we definitely look at sort of grants. I know that the government has a lot of things available for sort of startups, so it would definitely be an avenue we would sort of be interested in, as well as sort of like angel investors and different things. It's to sort of take a chance on us rather than but it's I think for initially it's sort of taking that sort of bank loan route is I mean, it is taking a lot of sort of responsibility on us, but the nice thing I liked about it was that we'd be co-signers, so it's like you're really not on the hook for a whole lot. It's $12,500, so whether we got each our own loan of 12.5, I mean, that's pretty easy. We just sort of talked about that. I can go out right now and probably get a loan for $12,000. So it's I think it's feasible.
As a bootstrap startup, I can tell you that the first thing you're going to cut is your own compensation. We lived that for 2.5 years, and then we scaled the company, and then we decided we're going to live it again for another year because the business needs drove that. So my main question is actually, you make this a success. What's the exit plan? For me, you always need to start a business with an end in mind. So what is the exit plan or strategy that you have in mind?
I mean, the ultimate dream is sort of building up a company, I think, and selling it for a whole lot of money. So that's the ultimate dream. And I think personally for myself, not that I get sort of bored, but I think I would sort of work with it to a point and get it to where I would like it, and then sort of hand it off and potentially start something new.